Thank you for this opportunity. This is great. I'm excited to be here. I do want to apologize. I made the cardinal sin of going to karaoke 2 nights back to back at a recent conference I flew back from yesterday. So my voice is a little hoarse, and we can thank Journey for that because Don't Stop Believin' is my go-to. But maybe in October there's a karaoke booth. Who knows? Food for thought. But my name is Caleb Williamson. I am the State Public Policy Counsel for ACT, the App Association, a technology trade association representing small businesses, independent app developers, and startups across the globe. And our charge is to bring the perspective of our members to global policy discussions so that we can create an environment where everyone, especially small businesses, can thrive in the digital economy. And to this end, as the State Public Policy Counsel, my charge over the past 3 years since I've been at ACT has been to keep tabs on all of the legislative activities across the country that impacts our members, who are building the technology, leveraging technology to turn ordinary devices into smart devices. And so there's no doubt that artificial intelligence is one of those areas that comes across my desk very, very frequently, along with data privacy, which I also feel is paramount for the issues that our members care about. And so I'm here to very, very briefly, before I call up our panelists, who are 3 incredible powerhouse women in this space and incredible powerhouses generally. But I'm here to just shed very quickly some light on the AI landscape at the state and local level, and or rather potential legislation at the state and local level, depending on the process and if they get enacted or not. And I also want to encourage ways to think about government uses of AI that will encourage responsible and fair uses of this technology, and also the automated processes. So very, very briefly, this past legislative session, we saw over 400 bills introduced at the state level that focused on artificial intelligence in some way, shape, or form. About 90 of those bills were focused on creating a study commission or a task force or a working group that would be comprised of government officials, that would be comprised of public organizations, nonprofits, trade associations, tech companies. And this was an attempt by many legislators to hear from every stakeholder, or as many stakeholders as they can get into a room, about what potential regulation and legislation could look like. To hear directly from small businesses like our association, to hear from larger tech companies like some who will be on our panel in a few, and also to hear directly from other state elected officials across state lines about how has this city or how has this state utilized artificial intelligence in a way that would enhance the productivity of oftentimes understaffed and under-resourced agencies and offices and things of that sort. And so one trend that we discovered, or that I discovered, was that there was a 3-step process. Oftentimes first we saw the introduction of a study bill, and if that bill was passed, next thing you know, the legislators were then focusing on government uses of AI, and then after that, then it was bills introduced to talk about private industry uses of AI and possibly regulating that. And so it almost seems like that is just the common trend that we're seeing right now at the state level, which is bring the stakeholders to the table through the study bill, focus exclusively on government uses, and then talk about the private company uses of artificial intelligence. And one state senator out of Connecticut, Senator James Maroney, who is one of the big 3, what I like to call the big 3. There are 3 legislators, and one of them will be up here as our panelist. But they were the big 3 legislators who are leading the charge on states with this with artificial intelligence, and also with data privacy as well. And so one thing that he mentioned, and he said, he had some concerns about coming up with legislation that would dictate how private companies would be able to use these systems and deploy these systems. But first he said, it would look a little odd if the state is mandating these, but we don't even have a blueprint of how we're utilizing and deploying these models and systems as well. And that led to him creating the study bill. That led to him then introducing a bill that focused on the government uses of it. And now there was a bill last year, and who knows, well, I do know it's going to be reintroduced, that will focus on private industry use. So that's one state that will be coming down the pike.